recording going, and let's start with what you've been able to do, and then tell me what worked really well, where did you get stuck, and
Mm-hmm.
then let's share your
Okay.
screen and make sure you can share and it should be turned on. Yep.
So I actually did a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was
You got
like,
started
I
on
was
the
like, why
final.
were you making this so hard? You know how to do this stuff.
Okay, look at this. Look at
This light
this.
bulb goes off.
Okay, Granny
So,
C's photography. Oh,
yeah.
that looks
So,
good.
well,
I
thank
am
you.
really happy. That looks really great.
So that's the first part. And this, I did take this one picture and get it put on there. I didn't get it done on any other ones. I just flat ran out of time.
I'll show you
So,
something on that. So I'll show you another technique that's gonna work a lot
yeah.
better than that. So
Well, it was what then going into um Canva
hmm
and doing it. Yeah. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can do that.
yeah.
But so this is one of the
Wow.
pictures that I did in Pixlr and worked on adjusting the contrast to try to bring the hummingbird out
Hey, you
a bit
did.
more.
Look at the wings.
Yeah. And you can see the face and the eyes and the
Yep.
beak a lot better.
Heck yeah. That looks amazing. That's beautiful.
So I played around with that and did that one.
That's cool.
And then these are my black and white ones. Um, this one, of course, when this is Ansel Adams.
Hmm.
This one, it's not as white as this because it is actually almost a wine color for the flower. And I
Okay.
tried in, make giving it more contrast, but it was making it worse rather than better. So,
But you know exactly what you were doing to get that.
mhm.
You had a low f-stop, which gives you that low. Well, actually, you have f16, so that's pretty high. Um,
Yeah, it was.
but your 1.6, maybe that could have played. But you did good on the depth of field because you just isolated the flower,
Hmm.
which you see how he isolated the edges of the flower with the
Right.
light all the way around the edge, and then you can't even tell what that is behind. You kind of know it might be leaves or leaves or maybe, but you
Hmm.
don't know for sure. So real cool stuff.
Okay. And then this is my bonus shot.
Ooh,
I
bringing the
which
fire, bringing the heat. Look at that.
Well, when I started this, I was taking pictures because, I take a lot of pictures before I finally pick one, and come back
Yeah,
in here in the house and go through them. But
yeah.
he was all up in here in the shadows, and there's
Mm,
other um, flowers that haven't bloomed right under this, bunched under
okay.
it. And
Hmm.
it took him forever to get to the top of this flower.
You said, "Come on now, get to the
Yeah.
top of that fire." But
Yeah.
you
So,
got them really
so
good.
I said, I'm waiting for you to show up.
That's cool.
So,
That's one thing you have to have patience when you're a photographer.
hmm,
Especially wildlife, right? Because you got to get
yes,
them just right into the frame and all that kind of stuff. And I love how your placement, you did a good job with your placement here too.
thank you. And then this is looking down a dirt road
Love it. You can
down
see
here.
nice leading lines all the way through.
Hmm.
That is really nice. Let's see it right in. That's pretty. I like the poles too. You can see each individual pole as it goes smaller and smaller and smaller into infinity. Yeah,
Okay.
ISO is pretty high, 1600, huh?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
I didn't want it to be real dark.
You just inspired me with a thought. Um, I think I'm going to start telling people to start from putting it on a PowerPoint.
Mm.
If they start with a PowerPoint by the end of class, they'll already have it kind of collected. They may not have all the data on it, but they'll have it collected. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
that's a
I
good
can see where
idea.
that would be a benefit.
Hmm.
Um, so, all right. And then these are my golden hour shots. I went back down to Pier 450 down on on Smith Creek down in Ridge, Maryland.
That's pretty. Now, did you darken that at all? Or that's exactly
No,
what you
that's
caught.
this is exactly what I caught.
That's great. No filter.
I did almost 100 pictures down there last night.
Wow.
So,
On
because
purpose?
yes, yes,
Okay. I'm just
because
making sure.
because
Because
the sun does, because I take a lot of pictures of sunsets anyway, and the
mm,
sun moves so quickly
it does.
and
It's
changes so fast
mhm.
that I was, you know, clicking away for
Okay.
that. I was down there probably about half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. So,
Cool.
and then this is the other one for the golden hour.
That's beautiful. Just splashing on, just about to head over down over the horizon.
Hmm. And then for the blue hour, that was where I had more trouble just getting, it just wasn't happening. It was just get,
You mean the
and
sky
actually,
itself?
yeah,
Okay.
actually, this is after I got back in the car
Okay.
and I was in the car taking it from the car. So
But you
I
can
said, let me
see
just
it,
try
it might
this.
have been because of the sky, the
Hmm.
clouds itself, because those clouds are pretty obscure. You can see the blue all the way in the back, straight to the horizon line, just
It was,
above it.
yeah, it was rather hazy, I thought last
Yeah,
night.
that haziness is probably what's stopping some of your
And of course, the
shot.
ISO was all the way up.
Yeah, because it's pretty dark.
Hmm.
And that's why it looks a little bit grainy when you look at
Hmm.
the black part right at the bottom. You see that grainy part? That's because you have it at
Yes.
25,000.
Yeah.
The only other option you
Well,
would have had was to change your, well, you tell me what other option, if you was going to bump that down on the ISO, what would need to be open?
you have to open up the aperture more.
Hmm. Cool. All right. But then you wanted that horizon out there in the distance, so you can't have it too high
No,
on
you
your
couldn't.
f-stop because then it would just blur out. So,
It does. It did. The other pictures did.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That was one of the problems I was having, why I didn't get nearly as many of the blue hour
Okay.
as I did of the golden hour. And
On a clean,
then,
crispy morning or a clean, crispy day, you'll
hmm,
see that blue hour and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this photo.
okay. And then this is the other one for the
Okay.
blue hour. And the difference between these two was, the f-stop, and
25.
and the aperture was, a lot lower, because that's 25 and 1/50th, and this is whoops, wrong way, 16
16
and
on
1
20.
200.
Yeah,
So,
200. So shutter speed. Okay.
and these are when I was going to some of the presets. This is down there also, and my focus is really the cloud, how the sunset was affecting the cloud. It
Awesome.
started out white when I was down there, but got pinker and pinker as time went on.
Right, because the hue started changing in the sky from the orange to the pink, pink and
Hmm.
orange. It's like a whole spectrum of colors. Cool.
And then this is the close-up mode.
Very nice. Now you see how it automatically sets that?
Yes, yes, because I was trying to change it. And I'm going, you
Mhm.
can't do that right now.
And what you might want to pay attention to though is what did the camera set it at?
Mm,
F8 250 over 3200.
uh-huh. Yep.
That's a pretty low ISO compared to your 25,000. right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
all you need is a bottle of water to spray it and make it look like it has the little water bubbles on the leaves.
Morning dew.
Morning dew. You be creating
Hmm.
your own.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can kind of see over here, because that was this morning. This is
Oh,
a little bit of
little
wet
bit.
here. But I had changed him around so much he didn't have any dew on him. The flower had no dew left. It wouldn't lay like I wanted to, so I was kind of smashing it down. So let's see what else. That's it.
All right. So tell me, what did you learn in this exercise that you were working on? And you only had the close up and you didn't have any extra ones,
No,
the landscape.
I
You didn't
I
have the
know
sport.
I know I wrote down what I thought I was doing, the numbers of the pictures as
Hmm.
I was taking them last night, and whether I was using AV or manual or all this stuff. Well, the number I wrote down did not correlate to anything when I went back and looked at stuff today. So, yeah,
Okay,
there
so
are
you might
others, but
have
I
some
don't know
stuff,
what
but you
they
don't know
were.
where they at.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know
gotcha.
where they're at because I was doing
Uh,
a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And
okay. Well,
so,
if you find it when you're over the weekend, if you find it and you want to still share it, I think it would be cool because I'd like to see what you got with your other. You got some other settings
hmm,
there. You should
locked
have
up
one
again.
like okay.
Okay, now I think you're
Uh,
back. You said something
okay,
about this
excuse me.
weekend.
I was saying you might try it and see if over the weekend you could find the photos because I would like to see what you were able to get. Like, what's your range on your when you look at your dial, right, and you see your presets, right?
My
Like
uh-huh.
I have five. How many
Different
do you have?
preset.
Hmm.
Oh wow. There's a lot of them in there.
Okay, so you have
Yeah.
at night and you have night shot. You should have one that's day and night where you got the sport and you got the macro, which is close, which is what that is close up.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the landscape and then you have portrait. So anyway,
And
if you can,
food. I have
and
food
food, yeah, food is another one.
and it has a backlit control, if the sun's behind the person.
Mm-hmm.
Um panning,
Okay.
a kids one.
Oh, so they catch the little dynamic movement.
Yeah, and sports,
Okay, so you do have some others.
group
So if you could
photo, portrait. So there's quite a few. Yeah, I wanted to try
try to
something.
use them over the weekend, just see what else you can pick up. I think
Mm-hmm.
it would be really cool for you to do that. Um, and according to my schedule, you guys have until next Tuesday. But I was asking if we can add one more day.
I thought tonight was the last night and Tuesday was going to be the one more day when we
Oh,
talked
you know what? That's it. That is
Tuesday.
today is Thursday. I don't know why I keep thinking today is Tuesday. I've been thinking it's Tuesday all day. Okay, so yeah, so you're bringing in your assignment on Tuesday. So, oh, I know why too. I got my little half day. You know how you have on the calendar, you have your half day. I didn't recognize that this is a half day. Okay, cool. So
So you
yes,
haven't sent us the way to lay out the PowerPoint or anything yet, have you?
no, I'll be
Okay.
sending that out tonight or tomorrow morning, probably tonight. I mean, I got a scheduled appointment at 8:30 right after this,
Mhm.
but probably between tonight and tomorrow because I have a very light schedule tomorrow, so I know I can get that done quicker. All right. So Sierra, are you able to hear us yet? Nope. I checked all settings, still cannot hear you. Hmm. Okay, let me see. I think Sarah's gonna have to go in and come back out. So, oh, So close out and then return to C.
I'm gonna go out and come back in and see if it'll stop freezing up for me.
Okay, so both of you guys will do the same.
Mhm.
I'll stay here. Sierra,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you to unmute. See if you get a button. Now try. Can you hear me?
Close out.
There you go. No, no, no. You're good. I can hear you now. Oh shit. Shit out. Nails.
I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
I don't know why it keeps saying the internet is unstable because I've got all the bars, as many bars as I can have for it. Oh well, must be the heat.
Yeah, it was pretty hot today. Hello?
I'm here. Poor Sierra not making it in though.
No, she was just in. Then when I could hear her, she clicked off to try to reset. So I think that was two things. Okay, so let's go into our lesson there. So what I was asking you was what did you learn? What was there anything that you stumbled on? Um what was okay, here goes Sierra again. Try that. Um, you know, what was the takeaway for you from this lesson that you were able to accomplish? Because you did a great job.
I, I still got to work on compensation. I still got to work on the rule of thirds. I'm sorry, but the sunset is supposed to be in the middle in a sunset for me because I didn't have anything really defining on each side but woods,
Okay.
you know.
Well,
Um,
one thing you can do is just offset it. If it's not, don't let it be right dab in the middle. Just offset it to the left or to the right, and that makes it again more dynamic. And then bring it down from the top of the
mhm.
frame, so it's not at the tip of the frame. Bring it down a couple of inches. So think of it how it's going to look inside a frame, right? So when you do that, you like give it a little bit of a couple of inches from the top. You're like, okay, this is going to be it. Now, some people are cool. Remember I said you could break the rules and you can do it right dab in the middle with no problem because it is a horizon line and it's a sunset. So, for some people, it works out. Okay, can't hear. I'm sure I'm not figuring it out. Okay, still can't figure out. Okay, hold on. Let me give you a thing to say unmute. There you go. How about now? Sierra?
I can't do anything.
I can hear you. So it's okay. Go ahead and share your photos and see if it resets. There we go. Okay. So let me see what.
So I just put in my phone.
Yeah, that I was gonna say, use your phone. That's good because we can hear you.
Yeah, hear the phone.
I
But-
got home and yeah, I just kind of
Okay, kind of hearing you.
You'd have to move your phone a little closer.
I think you guys were expecting more, but I only have because I was waiting hours. Hours.
Bring your phone closer to your mouth. Like talk to your phone. Oh, that's good.
And just
Where's your phone? Bring it closer to your mouth. Mm,
and I made this one on the canvas.
okay. All right. That was on Canva. Okay. Any other photos?
Um, so can you hear me?
Just a little bit.
Okay, but
How many photos
right.
do you how many photos do you have to share tonight?
Those right now. Um, oh, you hear me?
Wait. I can hear you, but I don't see any of your other photos. I just see the one thank you card thing that you
You hear
have.
me?
Yes.
Uh, The photos that I have tonight.
Yes.
That's all I had for my presentation.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll talk later. Okay? Mm. Okay, so let me share my screen.
So I'm here in the warehouse district of Chicago, Illinois with Xavier Perez. And he's a world-renowned light painter, and he does something strikingly different. He combines urban exploring with light painting. His images are quite striking. How did you get involved in this?
I've always loved exploring the underbelly of the city. I've always felt an affinity with it. I feel very comfortable in a dark alley in some, crumbling vacant lot somewhere. Early on in my photography, I was drawn to shooting at night. I'll do long exposures, 10 to 30 minutes. During that time, I'll light the scenes doing light painting and trying to transform these very gritty, almost lifeless locations into almost a fantasy version. And this is the camera I use. It's a 50-year-old film camera. It's a Hasselblad. It was the camera that astronauts took to the moon.
You take a risk in coming to some of these locations, right? Some cases you might be trespassing.
It can be dangerous. I've been doing this 24 years. Muggers and crazed drug addicts try to attack me. People point guns at me. I've been surrounded by gangs who wanted to
multiple gangs
destroy me. I mean, seriously, I've had.
But do you ever end up talking to the police? Have you ever gotten trespassing charges?
I have been caught trespassing a number of times, but I've never been caught breaking and entering. So that's that's a big difference for the police. So if you cross a fence and the cops catch you, I'm just the nicest guy in the world, and I act like a buffoon, like I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I'm a dummy, and they'll yell at me.
Dumb.
They'll say, you get the f out of here right this second, or you're spending in jail tonight. And I'll go, I'm so sorry, I'm leaving now, and I leave. So that's.
And you make a living doing this.
Yeah, this is what I do for a living. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go see your setup here. You already have some things preset in there, and so we're gonna do some urban exploring.
You got it. You gotta go over that fence.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, so it's the chaos and the anarchy of these places that makes them kind of refreshing. And how nothing is fixed up. They're kind of like the surface of the moon. Anything that happens stays here.
Oh, look.
So this is our glorious corner here. This is somewhere where people probably live at times and certainly hang out drinking a lot.
So this is all your gear you got here.
Yeah. A bunch of spotlights.
Spotlights.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Handheld flashes.
Uh-huh.
I actually wear a black hoodie, black pants, because I get in front of the camera to do my lighting half the time.
Oh, okay.
But I remain invisible. The exposure time is too long. I'm dressed in the dark clothes. I've got various things to hide my light.
Ninja.
Exactly. the way that I light these locations is in a very theatrical way, because I see each of these as kind of a theater set for, you know, for all the characters that have come and gone over the years. And I think of the stories that, you know, if we knew all the stories, it would be pretty amazing, I think.
I'm going on this grand adventure across America.
Okay, so that is Mr. Nunez. And so, any thoughts, ideas, questions about the work? I met him in Alexandria, and he was at the art festival, and I got a chance to see some of his art, his photos really close up. So, thoughts, questions about lighting?
So
Yes.
he said he does it like 30 minutes at a time,
He has a
exposure?
Hasselblad, right, which has a
Mhm.
long exposure. So it's a film camera. So it's used to having slow or fast film or what have you. And and in his case, it's a little bit different from digital photography because it's using film, but it has a long exposure. Now you can look and see what kind of long exposure you can add to your camera. Some cameras, the shutter speed only goes up so high, but you can get a lens that has a longer exposure, and it's called, you know, a long exposure lens. And it's a lot of people use them for like light night photography, shooting the moon, you know, the sky, the stars, that type of thing. So it has longer periods of time that you can open it up. And so in this case, he opened it up for 30 minutes, which gave him a long exposure because nothing's moving except for the light. He's moving, but you heard him say, because of the long exposure, he's a blur, right? It's just going to be a blur. And because he's wearing black, it just looks like nothing's there, but it's just a little blur. And he's not standing still enough in front of it to where the blur is captured.
Mhm.
It's almost like if you put your hand in front of your face right now and you do like this and you look straight, you can see that something's happening, but you can pretty much still see everything in front of you. So it uses that sensitivity. Then he talked about how he shoots light in a theatrical way. He used regular spotlights and he used strobe lights, and those things illuminate different ways. And so when he was shooting the fence around the door of the warehouse uh, dock, he went right around the grate a couple times, and that was one type of shot. When he was shooting the ground, he used the strobe light, so it was not catching everything and brightening everything. It was just really spotty what he was doing. And then when you saw he had the tracks, the train tracks. He went straight down the train tracks with the light and back and forth. And then he put spots on the wall where he just dripped them down on the wall. So let's look at some of his other work. I'm going to open his website real quick because it's a pretty beautiful uh, amount of photos there. And he's from Chicago, so you know that's his main place. But and I'll send you guys a copy or a connection to his website when I share. Let me share this real quick. All right, so he calls it light painting, and here's his gallery. Right, so here's an alleyway where he lit up the whole. Look at this beautiful trail of lights. You know, where he's just doing alleys and this broken stuff. Right now, here he took an old beatbox, superimposed it on a street, and made it like a building. This is what you can do in Canva. Something similar to this. being creative. Here again, he used regular light. You can do some of this kind of work with different colors and layers in Pixlr if you wanted to do something like that, right? Look how orange, he just worked with different colors on that. This right here, again, he lit, this is all graffitied up, and all he did was go in there with different lights and then, you know, kind of colored it up. Okay, regular old bridge, but because of how he lit the bridge, it just kind of, again, creative art. A house looks like it's a dollhouse or something, and you just, you know, somebody had stuffed dolls all over the house, and more than likely these are like, unfortunately, people put these things out when someone gets shot, killed. He's in Chicago, so more than likely they just stuffed the house with all those stuffed animals. Okay, a nice old, you know, driveway where he just went down in there. You can see where his lights, he just kind of trailed the light around and just made really cool, you know, art out of the lights. And this was the one that, similar to the one that we saw in the video where he had the couch and the open space there, right? So anyway, when you get a chance, check out his work. I'll make sure you get a copy of that so that you can, you know, just really think about, like, what is it that you want to take a photo of? What is it that, you know, you think that you would like to do as far as do more of? Okay. And this next genre, I want to show you, you know, when you have an animal, this is what some people have decided to do with their animal. Excuse me. And this is Bodhi, and he's a Shih Tzu, Shih Tzu, Shih Tzu, Shih Tzu. I think that's how you say it. So let me show you that.
I would describe Bodhi's personal style as classic with a touch of vintage and a touch of trend. The story of Bodhi, it's kind of an odd one. We were just waiting outside and we thought, put a shirt on him, see what he does. And instead of running off, he started posing and giving us these like amazing angles. And so I took a few photos and we just, for fun, posted them on Facebook. And it was the most likes that I've ever gotten on my Facebook ever. And the following day got picked up by GQ. And so it sort of like spiraled into the internet. The account has been going on for about 3 years. We have close to 1 million followers across our channels. I think Bodhi has the perfect personality for this. Bodhi is a Shiba Inu. It's a Japanese breed, one of the most ancient breeds actually, so they're super healthy and super handsome. He really lets me just put clothes on him. I think it works like a thunder vest where it calms him down. I mean, that's really why we started, because he was okay with it and he was like posing for us. So I think he's the perfect fit and the perfect face, if you will. Stay. Oh,
You
such a
like
good
those sunglasses?
boy. Good boy, Bodhi. I have had a lot of fashion people approach Bodhi. It's kind of a mixed reaction. Sometimes people are really delighted by it, and the other half is sort of looking at me like, what are you doing here with your dressed up dog, lady? I get messages from people all the time saying, I've had kind of a bad day and I saw pictures of your dog and it just makes me laugh. And so I think that daily motivation really helps me keep doing this, because I know it's making people happy, it's making people giggle, it's really feel good. So I think it works because you take all the intimidation out of fashion when you have a dog model. I mean, hey, if it looks good on a dog, it'll probably look good on you.
All right, and that was Bodhi. And again, picking a genre that you have passion for is important. If you want to do landscape, do landscape. You want to do macro, do macro. You want to do people, do people. In this case, it just kind of happened, right? She took a picture of the dog, put the shirt on the dog, put the picture on Facebook, and the rest is history. The dog currently salary is thousands of dollars per day, to the point that she was able to retire her job and go 100% in on photography with Bodhi. And she's also been asked to do photography shoots with other people's animals, right? So again, this is you deciding like, what do you want to do next with your photography? Of course, this is just the intro, right? You're just kind of getting started. The reason why I had you go through all your presets and all of your different modes and everything like that is so that you get so familiar with your camera, you know exactly what you need to do, or at least you're in the neighborhood before you start taking any photos, so that you are, you know, you're creating what you want versus the camera just giving you something. Here, take that, right? You want to be able to create and design and develop. So there's some other genres out there too. I'm going to share that when I share the screen as well, right? And so let me make sure I pull up the PowerPoint. Excuse me, pull up the PowerPoint. Right. And that was Bodhi. Yeah. And so boom, 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 boom. Make sure I got that straight. Here we go. So again, Bodhi is a menswear dog where now, I mean, his salary is way more than 15,000 now, because when he got his GQ contract, everything went up, right? But look at that, $15,000 a month contract. So another thing you might think about is architecture, old buildings, specific type of arches, that type of thing. Location photography. This is actually up in Virginia. This particular place is a falls. It's up in Great Falls, Virginia. I love going up there. I go there for serenity. I go there to just relax and listen to the power of a waterfall. But also, you know, that's fun. And then Las Vegas, when I go out to my son, that blue hour into golden hour was a sunrise in Las Vegas that I was able to capture while I was out there. Okay. You know, other things is figures, right? Figurines, that type of thing. You know, you might think about you know, how you're going to move into that genre. Again, groups, taking your time, setting up types of shots. And then birthdays are huge. Birthdays, weddings, baby showers, baby births, third trimester, all those things are very, very lucrative if you decide to go into making any kind of money. I have an actual CSM course that's specific to how to profit from your photography that's coming up later in the year. Again, portraits, taking the time to figure out how to get the best portrait. And of course, there's some work here that's been done in After Effects by lightening the eyes or putting some different, filters there. But the fact is, you can take the time to do that. And of course, some of the most expensive stuff is weddings. But even in weddings, you can just shoot the before and after photos of the setup for the people who enjoy that kind of work. All right. And so, again, giving yourself the space to really try out some different things, and go in an area that you're not as familiar with. And I think you'll be really happy with your results. Right. So a couple of things we covered was the golden hour. Again, the golden hour is that time frame after or before sunrise and sunset, right? And you've been able to get some good photos there. This blue hour, again, is a time when, it's right before dusk or dawn. Real, real cool time for you to shoot and find, find find your natural thing. So I want to go into composition a little deeper and just a little quick look into this again. And there are some things that you can see that maybe in your mind's eye you didn't notice. Like in this case, I'm going to go from the top down, then to the top down on the left and on the right. I'm going to start on the right side where you see the Eiffel Tower. So there are some ways that you can compose a shot where you geometrically cut everything up into little triangles. And then you look for little merge points on your tips of your triangles, and you get something similar to that. Down at the bottom, we have the vanishing points, or you have also these equilibriums. So you can use those to kind of come up with a structure. And so instead of trying to cut the top of the building off, just tilt down or change your perspective a little bit so that you get this kind of shot where you creating these geometrical shapes. Also on the left hand side where the light is, the lantern or the street light, all right, they use that as the main focal point, and then they found something in the distance and then kind of connect them, not specifically with a line, but actually visually connect them so that your eyes know exactly where to go in the photo. So again, composition. And then this is kind of like a seashell or that type of thing where you just kind of trail the eyes down into some kind of space, and then you give them somewhere to look. So in this case, it's coming from the foreground to the background all the way back. And that is really, really important for, getting you some really clear shots. And so I covered also black and white, and I covered some other things in reference to our list. If you remember the list, we had blue hour, golden hour, and then intro to editing. And so I have 3 more areas to share with you tonight, which gets you prepared for next week, right? And that is storage. All right. When you build your library, you got to be careful for some things. So here's some things to kind of keep in mind as you, consider getting started. Again, I share with you, I have an external hard drive. That's this right here. It's a terabyte. It has a whole bunch of space on there. So I can do a lot of photos and take them off my camera. And again, for your camera, you have a storage more than likely on the inside. So you would just open up your storage. And when you do so, you're going to pull your memory card out. For some of you, you're going to have like a large memory card, So I have a memory card here. And so I could push on it and pull it out, right? And it's inside the adapter. But then you can use this also to switch out your memory. So buy you multiple memory cards so that when you're out and about and you forget that you didn't, clean off your memory with your camera, at least you have your memory card and you still have some stuff in there. So consider that, create folders so you can actually, move your stuff into a particular space and keep them, keep track of them that way. That's really important as well. Okay. Get you a good SD card or USB to be able to transfer from your camera to your laptop or to your external hard drive. You should have a USB that came with your camera. If not, you want to order the one that goes with your camera. Don't try to get a third-party one because it probably won't work as good. You want to be careful for that. All right. What else is on this list? Oh yeah. So and you can read most of that, but open a folder that you created. You can copy and paste things in there. So that makes it easier for you to find your photos. That's one of the hardest things that people do. They have a whole bunch of photos and then they can't find the ones that they want because it's just so many and they didn't name them. They didn't put a naming convention. I want to encourage you to figure out a naming convention. Let's say if you're on the river, so it's like river 1, river 2, river 3, river 4, or if you're taking photos of frogs or some type of other wildlife, you could say, you know, wildlife, beaver, wildlife, fox, wildlife, you know, bird or eagle. You know, you can might be more specific. Whatever you do, you want to keep track of that and name them that way, so it'd be easy for you to um, arrange all your folders so that you can find what you need. Okay. Again, name, year, event, those are all important things. I like to put dates on mine sometimes. So I'll put 2022, 2023 with the month. It's every so often I might do the actual day, just so I can know that that was specific to a birthday or blah, blah, blah. Right. And then think about the size of the file when you have to send it somewhere. So what you want to invest in is a file sharing site like Dropbox or SmugMug or someplace where you can upload your photos and then give someone a link so they can go look at them. That way, you're not trying to send this big old giant file across the internet on an email, right? You want to do something a little bit different. And then also you can compress the file folder. So you can put them in a folder and then compress the folder, send it, and then they have to decompress it and open it up. And that's another way for you to keep track and actually care for your library, right? Technical issues, again, downloading images does have a problem sometimes. You want to make sure if you download it and you save it as a JPEG or a PNG file, those are for the internet. Those work the best, right? But JPEGs is pretty much universal for most software out there. They can work with a JPEG, so I'm encourage you to use a JPEG when you save it. And it's automatically set up that way in most technology now. It used to be you had to always make sure you chose, but a lot of times it reads it and it knows it's a JPEG and it asks you if you want something different, PNG file or PDF file, which those are all different size files, and it takes more memory to make that happen. Again, image size, be aware of resizing images. You have a resizing image use right here in on your laptop or your desktop or your tablet, and you can do that with Microsoft Paint. And remember that most of the time, the numbers that you're going to have on how big the file is or small the file is listed as pixels. So if it's 1500 pixels and you need to shave it down a little, you want to shave them down symmetrically. So you want to make sure that you lock the aspect ratio, and I'm going to show you this in a moment, but you're going to lock the aspect ratio so that they move and everybody goes to the same size as you would to resize. And then using images socially, just remember that when you use an image socially and you put it out on the internet, if you didn't put anything that relates to you on it or connect it back to you, anybody can use it. So I always say, if you really care about your copyright, you need to put your logo. And so I'm going to stop sharing right there to see if there's any questions. And then I'm going to go back to Canva, show you that logo design thing that I wanted to show you Tuesday, and make sure it works this time, because I've tried it and it should work this time. Any questions, or do you have a comment? All right. So let me go to Canva. Oh, let me bring it back up. Hold on. Canva. Da-da. All right. So let me share my screen. Canva. All right. So what I was showing you inside Canva is another thing that you can do. So I'm gonna just create a card, right? And it's gonna give me some stuff to play with. Remember, I told you it will pretty much, give you something to start from. You just have to change this information, right? But let's say I want to save the date for a birthday party and I want to use my own photos. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this wording. And in this case, I'm gonna get rid of their wording and I'm gonna add my own text. I'm gonna go to text and there's some cool text here. And then I'm gonna push this thing that says group and ungroup. And what that does is it separates the text so you can get rid of one part and still use the other. So I'm gonna use this and I'm just gonna say happy birthday, right? Happy birthday. Now, I could drag and drop the size by just picking one of the corners. It gives you the corners. I can also hover over it and I need to have all the 4 directionals and I can move it around. And so now I have happy birthday. And let's say I'm not gonna use this guy, I wanna use somebody, right? So I'm just gonna pick a photo that they have already online. And I'm just gonna pick this girl right here, right? Gonna pick this girl right here. Now, what's the first thing you notice? And you could just unmute and talk in reference to the colors and et cetera, et cetera. The girl, the photo, what would make this more interesting if I'm just trying to make something really nice with my photo? Any thoughts? Mary Lou? Sierra? Okay, I don't hear you guys. Okay, I see you looking, but I don't know if can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was me.
Oh, okay.
It was
Okay,
me.
so thoughts
I don't know.
about,
First, I said make it more of a headshot, but no, you need her arm in there. You want to
okay.
see her arm.
So what you have is you have what's on the photo, right? But what's
Mhm.
cool about Canva, if you decide, and I'm going to move this little bar out the way because it's kind of hiding some of the stuff. You can edit the photo. So what you do is you click on the photo. This is your photo, and you're going to make a card. So you can go over here and you can say, I want to remove the background. And it'll automatically take the background image out. And now you just have the person. And I'm gonna get rid of this because it's not a save the date anymore. I'm just turning it into a really cool birthday card with my friend's face on it. And whatever her name is, let's just say her name is Clara, right? So I can, and I want to make that a lot larger. So I'm going to go to the numbers up here and I'm just going to turn Clara into 60. And now I got a nice little birthday thing for Clara. And I use my photo, my image. And let's say I don't like this image, right? I got a better picture of Clara. I got a better picture of Clara. Wait, let me see. Wait, I want this one. So I can also say, no, I think I want this one, right? And I could put that all the way across, right? And then put this over here. And then what I need to do is I got to deal with contrast, right? Because contrast is important for color. Light and light will make it too bright, but I might want to make this dark. So I can go to the color on the text and change it. That's a little bit too much, but that maybe not. So I'm going to play around with these colors and see, hey, these colors could work, maybe, or maybe I might use these other colors. I'm not sure. But for me, I'm thinking this color will work, right? And so I'm going to use that color for Clara. I already used the color, so whatever color I've used, it'll tell me, and I can go back to it. But now I say, maybe there's a distraction back there, but let me see again if I can remove the background, and then what do I have? And now I have a lot better contrast, and I'm still moving the person. Yep. So this is still my photo. And I got a nice little something happening here. And this takes practice. It takes, getting in there and just playing around and creating. And so now I told you that you don't have to pay monthly or any kind of fee for that. There are apps that you can use to remove backgrounds, and then of course you can just pay like $10, $12 or $2 or whatever. What happens when you make something inside Canva and you get ready to download it, it's going to tell you whether it's a premium item or not. So when you download, you're going to see these little icons. You see little, looks like a little crown. That's when you know you're going to have to pay for something. But you can just put a $10 amount on your card or on your account, excuse me, and then use them as you need sparingly. And you don't have to pay for each and everything. But there are some things that are free. And again, the reason why you know it's not free is when you do a search and you see the little crown. Anytime you see the crown, you know there's a cost involved. But here is something where I was able to take a photo and repurpose that photo into a happy birthday card, just using Canva and the apps that it has available. Okay, so if I didn't have the money, or I didn't put any money, I didn't want to put any money, then I would just use a different photo. I would say, okay, I'm gonna have to use a different photo that might have, a background. So I'm gonna say lady smiling just to see what comes up, right? And here's one that I could probably use. Already the background's already gone. So I'm gonna remove her from here. And then I got this person. They also have some of these where the background is removed inside PowerPoint. All right. So again, I can make a nice little something, maybe an invitation or what have you. Just see what they have available. You do a simple search and look for a background. And then you can see if you want to change some of the, orientation or colors involved and go from there. But this is something you can do with Canva, and I really think it makes for a more dynamic use of your, excuse me, I don't want that. Dynamic use of your editing software. Okay,
So how do you
go ahead.
pull a photo you have into Canva?
Right, that's what I'm getting ready to do now,
Okay.
because we tried to do that last week and they said that I was over my limit, so I had to go and change that. So now we was working with the sunrise or the sunset or something like that. So on the left hand side it says upload, and then it lets you upload a file. And then I'm going to upload the original one that we had, which was this one. I'm also going to bring my busy bee in there because we couldn't do that yesterday either. Right. And so, oops, here, open it. And it's going to come in here on your desktop. This is like your desktop over here. Now you can close that up if you need more space, and you can open it up if you want to see it, right? And so we're looking at uploads right now. And so remember, I had my busy bee, right? And this was what I was going to tell you earlier, Mary Lou, because now I can go ahead and put my logo on here. So I'm going to take this over here. See how it's see-through? Because I made it transparent when I first made it. And now I can make it nice and small and pop it over wherever. And now you see that white box? So I'm going to remove that white box because I set it so that the background would be gone. And now you see that, oh wait, let me move this out the way. Put that up there. So now you see how this is where it could be, you can see transparency.
Right.
That's what you want ultimately. So it might be that you put $5 on the account so you can use this system to make your stuff transparent. Now I'm going to make the background black. So I'm clicking on the whole thing. You see how all the whole thing is on, got a little line around it. I'm going to put black. And now you can see my logo nice and easy right here. I could pop that in the corner. I could pop this over here, probably would probably be best. Pretty much out the way. And I got Clara and I got the birthday still happening here. And I'm going to move her just a little bit, make her a little bit smaller, just so she fits. Not everybody's fitting there. All right. So again, this is one thing you can do. I'm going to add a page just to show you something else. So again, I had this right here. And, you know, I was trying, what I wanted to do in the other thing was to get rid of this person and just see if I can, you know, rub them out or get rid of them. And so that's a higher level edit. But what I can do is I can see if they'll let me like remove a piece of the person there. So they have what's called magic eraser. And I got a magic eraser, and then I could just do like this on the magic eraser. And I'm gonna do like this on the magic eraser. And I pretty much got rid of that person. I'm gonna do it one more time. It look like I still see a little bit of that. All right. So I have just taken the time that it would have taken for me to use that other system inside Pixlr. I just did it here. And now I could do whatever I want on this particular deal. So let's put her over here. I'm gonna put her right where he was standing, where she's like right on the edge of the water or whatever. You know, just messing around. But you see how I just got rid of that person and then repurposed this whole photo, just using the system that they already have. And that's why I said it's probably today, last year, these were not available. So you now have more options than people had last year inside Canva. Okay. And you can make just about anything. You can make almost any type of design, whatever it is you want to make, a book, a flyer, a document, you know, whatever template you need, you put it in here. And then it'll tell you whether it can create it. And if you can't do that, then you would go to the creative design and you would customize it yourself. And you put the sizes that you want, use the pixels, and whatever the size is that you need, put that in there. If you're not sure, you can put it in inches. And let's say you go by like 8x4, right? Now you know the inches, but you didn't know the pixels. So then you just change it to pixels. And it'll tell you what the pixels are. 768 by 348. Custom design. And now you say create design, and it gives you that size that you need for whatever it is you're making. And of course, they're always going to give you some kind of cool, you know, representation of that particular thing. So you can not have to do everything. You don't have to start from scratch. You can use the templates that they give you or the styles that they give you and work from there. Great question. What questions do you have?
Right now.
All right. So no questions, Sierra. No questions, Mary Lou. All
No.
right. So when we came in earlier today, Mary Lou, you were saying that it was a lot to try to do in one setting. And so now you're going to have a couple of days to play around in there. I want to show you one more thing so that that goes with this. And it was where I got the girl from, right? Because what I shared with you guys is you can go to what's called Pixabay. And Pixabay, again, it was just a place where you can go to. Wait, let me open it up first before I go there. Right? Pixabay is a free, it has some free stuff there where you can get really cool uh, free stuff like video. You can get photos. So let's say you're trying to find a photo of you're trying to make, whatever, you just can't figure out, well, you can't find the photo that you want. You can't find the thing that you want. So you want to go to HD, you want to find a high definition photo. So you go to Pixabay, and I'm going to pull it up again. And inside this is all types of backgrounds and things like that that you can use for your photography. So for your creativity with your photography. So again, in Pixabay, Pixabay, you have all images. So if you were searching for all images, and let's just say we want football, right? It's going to give us soccer, it's going to give us regular football, it's going to give us a number of things. But right here, this says sponsored images. That means you have to buy them. But then you see right below it, it says royalty-free images. These are free. These are people have said, sure, you can use these images. No big deal. So let's say I was trying to put something together for my kids' baseball, my kids' party, right? My party. And I was like, man, I really would like to get a good soccer player. So let me use this kid over here. So all I would do is I would come here and I say, hey, do I have to buy this? It says no, it's free. You can download it for free with no problem. I pick a size, I download it, and I let it, come into my images here. I'm going to say soccer just so I can find it. It's in my download folder, and boom, it's in there. Now I can go back to my Canva using what I've created and using what they've created and make something even more specific to whatever it is that I want to do. And this is how you, again, upload some stuff. So you just downloaded the photo like you would your own, right? And then you go into Canva. And when you go into Canva, you'll say, okay, what I need to do is upload a photo. So I'm going to go to uploads. It says upload a file. I find the file that I want. I upload it. I click on open. It comes in. You see the little water thing right here, it fills up. And now I got the little guy right here, right where I want it, right? And so this is the photo that I want for the kids because I want to do a birthday party invitation. Again, if I didn't want all that background, if I paid $4 or put $5 on my account, now I got this little guy, he's kicking the ball. And now I can take my own photo and figure out how I'm going to integrate it utilizing something that's already there, right? So again, I'm going to use this just for the sake of time, right? We got this guy sitting there. I'm going to put him in the background, send him to the back. And now I got my little man out here on the beach. Let me go smaller. And of course, I have to use that remover tool to do that. But you get the point, right? I'm just using this and I could change the background and make it whatever I want. I can create different things. I can create stuff that's aligned with color codes and everything like that. So those are all cool things. All right, so I'm going to go back to the presentation and then we'll be taking a couple minutes breaks. All right, so Again, resizing images, using images socially. We talked about that. Where am I? Okay, right there. So, we built our library. We considered our hard drive. We know what's happening there. And so we did all those different things. I just showed you how to do and protect your photos with a logo, right? You can make a logo inside Canva. I just showed you with my Bumblebee logo what to do, and that will help you protect your images and put your uh, mark on all your images. Okay, very, very important to make sure that you know keep that in mind. Okay, I want to also share with you one other time we talked about blue hour and golden hour. I meant to also share with you this after rain shot. I was down in DC. It's amazing when it rains and it's clear and it's a beautiful night, because what happens, you get the reflection of the rain all on the ground and everything that it touches. And I was at the DC Wharf. This is no flash at night. I only used the available light to get this photo. And it's right at the wharf. There's a little edge where you have a little walkway where people go, and there's a little fireplace and everything. But anyway, I took this photo. It probably was, I think, somewhere around 8:30 at night, and I only used the existing light. So, but it was because it had rained, and I really wanted to see if I can catch some of this really pretty reflection that happens when it rains. So, that's something that you want to, if it rains in your area, go out and see what you can capture on, maybe the trees, the leaves, or wherever it may be. These are all real cool things that you can do to enhance your photos. All right. So let's take a break. We're going to take a 6-minute break, come back at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go back over everything, just make sure we clearly covered everything that you needed to know or covered inside class. I'm going to go back to the list, and we will get ready to wrap up. Okay. So get started on your presentation. Okay. So I think we're good to go. Are there any questions before we take a break?
I can hear everybody now, but I don't have any questions, but I would definitely like to go back, if that's possible.
Go ahead. Well, we'll go back when we come back from lunch.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you
but
mean?
no, I don't have any questions.
When you say go back, what do you mean?
Oh, I mean, go back to the videos.
Okay. Okay. So you didn't get to hear none of the videos and nothing?
No, I didn't hear. I didn't
Okay.
hear anything.
Well, what we'll do is at the end of class, I'll get you the links, and that way you can check it out. And then also, I'll kind of go over with you because I didn't know that you couldn't hear that either. I thought you just couldn't hear me talking. So let me make sure that happens. If you want to hang out through the break, you can, but I want to go ahead and give you guys a break. All right. So let's
Okay.
take a now come back at 8. Let's come back at 8:05. That'll give us a pretty nice little break, because we almost wrapping up anyway. All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So we are back, and I just want to share with you a couple of resources as well as we prepare to wrap up and move forward from this evening. Okay, so one of the last thing that's on the list is actually a course that kind of got birthed out of this course, and it's Photography Made Easy, Photography Profits Made Easy. And in that profits course, I actually talk about a number of things. Photography can be put on just about anything. Some people have them where they want to put it on apparel, clothing, hats, glasses, headphones. mouse, mouse, cell phone. They use their photography for all these different things. I'm going to give you two resources. Go to their website, show them. These are the ones that I use. Across the room over there, I have my photo on mounted on the wall, and it's one from one of the first ones when I moved in this area. It was raining that day, that week, and I went up on the park, and I took this beautiful photo of the harbor with the rain, clouds, and everything. And I just kind of, I wanted to test it as well. But I picked this company called I Print from Home. They are a 40-year-old company that's run by a family. And so I'm going to share that with you because some of you will decide to take a photo and make it into something that you want to mount and actually, give it to someone as a present or put it up on in your own home or what have you. And you want something that has high quality, but also, in my opinion, they give you a few options. And so I'm going to share with you, I print from home. And then there's a number of different other companies out there, but I don't know all of them. But I'm also going to share with you one where they will take whatever you have on your whatever you have as far as a photo and put on canvas and a host of other different types of genre. Let me move this floating thing out the way again, right? And this is Canvas Champs. Canvas Champs is so cool because you can make a whole bunch of cool stuff. Um, calendars, uh, see-through acrylic type photos with acrylic. You'll see here, they actually put pillows for the couch, cups, water bottles, just about anything, and even big old giant posters, right? So I want to encourage you to come to their website and take a look at some of the things that they offer. And they give you a pretty good idea of the cost because they break it down. They even talk about like what you need to do to get your photo ready so that it can be turned into something special. And these are very unique gifts because uh, they're your photos, right? Acrylic prints. This is a really good one where they have that 3D effect on it and makes it really look really nice. And it's acrylic. And I will say that when I met Mr. Nunez, that's what he had up on the big wall. He had this really cool acrylic light photo that he had done. Okay. Apron. This is really cool. Peel and stick. I mean, real cool stuff that you can use your photos to make, right? Um, so I want to encourage you think about ornaments for your Christmas holiday, or if you celebrate the holiday, right? Or specialized gift wall calendars, real cool stuff, desk calendars, okay? Mouse pads, all made with your original photo, your original photos. All right. And the thing about this too is this is an added value for your customer if you choose to make it. If let's say they ask you to take a photo and then you say, okay, I can give you that. Plus, I can give you a 5-panel split canvas. When you can put something like this in the hands of your customer, they get really excited. And you can find out how to do this in a way that's cost effective for them and you. The other one is I print from home, and they have a number of different types of backgrounds that they can print on. Uh, they have a lot of different options, right? And so inkjet prints, giggly prints, that's like really cool fine arts. It has a special kind of like ink that they use for that on the matte finish. Then you also have acrylic, where they put stuff on acrylic, and in some cases you can even get stuff put on metal, aluminum, right? So, I want to introduce you to them because I think they're really cool. And, if you go to their homepage, let me go to their homepage real quick. You get to even see the stories of Sarah and her grandfather. I think it's her dad, right? And her grandfather. He started this years ago. I've been in touch with them through email. I found them by accident. They were the company. I ordered a poster of an illustration, and it went to the wrong address. They sent me an email saying, "Hey, we have your illustration. It came to our address, but we're not the same company. We're across the street." For some reason, the delivery person took it to the wrong place. And so I got to talk to them on the phone and through email, and I decided to send us for a sample. You can send for a sample, and they'll send you a sample of all the backgrounds that they print your photos on. That way, when you like that B photo that you did, Mary Lou, that's probably one that I would do where they would actually illuminate the back of the photo and the lights will come through. They have a special chromatic type of way that light light the photo, and it's pretty powerful. So anyway, those are two that you can get started. Canvas Champs, I vouch for them. Um, they have really cool. They have the stretch canvas, the basic canvas, where it looks like it's painted on, and that's real cool. And then, of course, I print from home. All right. So let me go back to our presentation. Make sure we covered everything that was on our list. Right. So we covered exposure, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. The exposure triangle, I gave you a couple of job aids for that. Light metering, depth of field, focal length, sensor size and sharpness. We covered camera settings. We did the manual setting and your two presets on your program mode. We did also your aperture priority and your shutter priority. Then we had you go and use all of your presets to see exactly how all of that works inside these camera settings or camera modes that are already preset in your camera. We showed you also how to go into your metering system that's inside using your histogram, so you can see how you can meter or be at least close to what you need in order to use the exposure compensation up or down so that you can get the right exposure to your photo. We also went over focus and focusing and how to use manual focus and artificial intelligence or AI, AF, autofocus, and how that works. We also covered hyperfocal distance. I showed you how you can hyperfocus all the way out into the main distance way out. We did not cover white balance. I mentioned white balance because your camera actually has a white balance setting that's part of when you set things up with your exposure compensation wheel. So you can make that final adjustment, little fine adjustments there. We did cover histogram, and we did all the things that related to composition, which included perspective and the rule of thirds. So you've had so many different things over the course of these weeks to really go in there and dial in what you wanted. And then the last things that we covered under the bonus pieces was blue hour, golden hour, rain hour, right? Where you go out right after rain, right, right when the rain stops and catch this really beautiful, especially in the evening time. That's the best time for it. And then storage ideas on how you can keep track of your naming conventions and things of this nature. We did intro to editing, but we actually cut that short and brought you over to Canva. And I showed you that Canva might be your exclusive thing to use right now, especially being new. And I personally haven't been able to work with the the Photoshops and things of that nature very well. I actually would send it to somebody else. If I did, I would do an outsource to that. And then intro to photo creation is what we just talked about just now, where you could take your photos and create stuff, pillows, wall hangings, all types of cool things, mugs, coffee mugs, calendars with your unique photo, which makes it very unique as far as a gift. And then the last thing is to prepare for your student presentation. So I shared with you that Shauna, another one of our students, would, you know, she did a I'm gonna stop sharing so I could get her presentation up. And then are there any questions while I get Shauna's presentation up?
No.
No.
All right. So let me get that up real quick. Okay. Give me one moment to pull that up for you guys. Okay. Why am I having a challenge finding this video? Okay, manage your videos. Yes. I might have to get the link out of my email for some reason. I'm not seeing it listed in the hidden videos. But give me a second to pull that out of cover tag. I should have had this pulled up already. I do apologize for the delay here. Happened to my site here to tag. Shauna. Final assignment. There we go. Where is the video? All right, I'm gonna need to send it to you in an email so you can watch it over the weekend. I'm not gonna spend more time trying to figure out what happened to it. I know I have it in my video. I'm not sure why I can't find it faster than this. So, final assignment. I don't see it. I really wanted to show it to you tonight. But anyway, I will go ahead and share that later with you. Um, all right, so let's answer any questions about anything that we've covered from day one to now. Let's make sure that you have everything answered before we leave tonight. Doesn't matter what the question is, what the part is, what area it is. Let's do Q&A so we can make sure we have that.
Can't think of
Okay.
anything.
Will this be on YouTube? Yeah, this video is not on YouTube where you can find it. All the videos that we have when I upload it to YouTube is hidden. They are not available to the public. They're only on my site. And so I go in there and I send you, but I will send you the link. This is actually going to start right after I hang up right here. It's going to start generating the video. I already have it set up for that. Okay, so
So,
no
I-
questions at all, Mary Lou?
yeah, since you said something about the videos, there's some other days that we don't have the videos for.
Okay,
Will
I'll
you
make
send
sure
us those?
you'll have
Yeah.
all of them. I have the file folders, and I'll look in there and make sure you have them. I'll check the dates and
Thank
make sure that you do have those. And some of the assignments was, also in there. So toward the end of the video is usually is where I put the assignment. So let's talk about your final assignment. You guys already did good with the fact that you know how to do a PowerPoint. So I'm gonna just say, let's go ahead and use PowerPoint, and you're going to look at what you learned from the beginning to what you learned to the end, and there's a representation of everything that we shared. I'm going to send you the copy of this where it says what we covered, and you should have a photo or two to represent all those different areas. When I say exposure triangle, you should have something that represents f-stop. You should have something that represents shutter speed. You should have something that represents ISO. When you say depth of field, you should have something that shows large depth of field, short depth of field, focal points. Uh, Everything else should also be make sure you include um, composition, perspective, and rule of thirds. All those things need to be on there. You should be aware of all those things and make sure you, when you take your photos, if you have to reshoot some things, which you probably will, just make sure that you compose your shot. Don't just take it and go, oh, this is it. Take the time to find your rule of thirds. Take your time to see where your perspective. Take the time to look at what's in the background and how does that relate to what you have in the foreground and your main subject, things of this nature. If you take water, again, you got water going at 3 different speeds, right? You got water sitting still. You got water turn into ice, basically stopping it total. Then you have it kind of running, and then you have it where it's turned into mist, right? So you got 3 different deals where you're showing how you use speed, shutter speed to make the difference. Okay. You're gonna have a representation from your preset. That's something that you want to do as well. And then, of course, you're going to create something that you're going to show what you created, whether it's a business card, a gift card, a pillow, outline for a pillow. It doesn't have to be the actual pillow, but a design for pajamas or whatever it is that you create. We want you to share that in your presentation. All right. So, any other questions? Everybody's clear about what the expectation is for Tuesday night? That's
I have a
all we'll be
question
doing Tuesday
about
is just going through everything. You'll be doing the presentation, and because there's only the 2 of you, if Donna shows up, which she might, then it'll be the 3 of you. But she said she was going on vacation or going out of town, so she might not be here next week. Go ahead, Sierra.
I have a question about the email that you said you're gonna send out. Are you gonna also send out like what's to be expected? Or
Put in what I just told you to be
yes.
expected. Do you need me to put it in a list?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Can you
send a list of all the stuff. Yeah, the page that I shared with you. This is what I'm gonna send you. So you're clear about what I expect, right? This is what, oh, let me go back to here. This is what I'm expecting. That you will show a photo that will represent all these different lessons that you learned or that you have been exposed to today throughout
Okay.
these weeks. So you're going to show something that explains exposure. You're going to show aperture. You're going to show shutter speed. Those are the triangles, the exposure triangle. So all of these things, you should have a photo now of these. So you're going to have to do some work because you haven't showed a lot of the work yet. And so again, it's not mandatory, but I don't see how you're going to improve if you don't do the assignments. So we could stay and talk about it afterwards if you need to, but I think you can go with this. And if you run into a problem, all you gotta do is call me.
Okay.
Okay, but you're gonna get that with the link to the recording and a couple little links to the different things I just talked about today.
Okay.
Okay.
I think those were all my questions, but if you need me to stay after class, I will.
Okay, just for about 2 minutes. Should be
Okay.
cool. All right, so that's the end of class today. We'll see you on Tuesday. We ended 3 minutes early, but that's okay. I'll see everybody on Tuesday night. So stay, Sierra, so I can talk to you real quick.
Have a good evening, y'all.
Have a
Bye.
good evening. Okay, so tell me what's going on with you and taking this class, because I'm wondering, is this way too fast for you, or what's happening?
Um, well, I mean, this is my first time taking it, so I'm
Hmm.
just I'm just trying to learn.
I get it. I know this is your first time taking it, and the learning part is where I'm struggling with because I'm not seeing you like take on the photos. Like, tell me what is the exposure triangle?
Um,
What do you think it is? Okay,
the,
so do you have an answer or no?
no.
Okay, cool. It's okay not to have the answer because that's what I'm talking about. I think that these are things that we've been sharing with you guys for like the whole time, right? And then like tonight's assignment was you were supposed to show your black and white photos, right?
Mhm.
And you were supposed to show your presets on your phone, on your camera, all your presets. So it's all the different presets that's on this little dial. So when you look at that dial, there's about 4 or 5 presets. You got the mountains, you got the little head that means portrait, you got the dark light, the bright light, you got the different things there. Macro, real close up. And so you would have had at least 6 photos to share tonight, just on those presets alone. Then you would have had your black and white photos, which would have been 2, because I asked for 2 shots in most cases. So that would have been 8. And when you came to class, you shared 1 photo of a basketball hoop, and then wasn't sure like what part of the lesson was that. So where I'm having the challenges is like I'm wondering if we need to start all over again and go slower because we do have a slower version of this class where it takes longer to go through and we slow it down a little bit more and I ask more questions. But when I ask, do you have any questions? Not 90% of the time, no one says anything. So I don't think that I wouldn't know that you need help if you don't let me know. So how can I make this better for you? Because I'm thinking that you're gonna walk out of this class and I'm not seeing how much better you are from the day that you started to the day that you're leaving. Help me understand that.
Well, I do think that it's a fast class for me because I kind of have like a different way of processing things
Okay, that's
because I
honest.
learn different from others. So
No problem. And I get that. I've been a teacher that teaches differently than others. So I'm aware of that. And I was waiting for you to tell me that because I have to assume that everything is good until you let me know because I can't go by like what I just think, right? I have to be clear about what it is. And so I've had another student in my class that had the similar challenge. And that's why I said, let me talk to you because it sounds like you might need me to explain things a different way or give you more time to get it. And or maybe you just need to do it right when we're talking about it and then share it with me, show it to me. Or even when I say look on your camera, do you even know like where to go? Like when I say, shutter priority, automatically now you should be able to go, oh, that's TV, you know, or whatever it is, S on yours. What kind of camera do you have?
um, I have a Sigma Sony
Let me see the
camera.
top of it. Like just kind of show it in front and then come close. Okay, turn it to where I can see the dials on the top. All right. So, okay, so you have quite a few of the same presets there, right? Now you can't take off your lens, can you? Or does your lens come on and
Oh
off?
yes, it comes off.
So you can exchange your lens too. So you can go from 35 to 55 to whatever size lens you want. All right. So you have the right equipment to get the shots to get the shots done. Are you going to be able to get the assignment done by Tuesday?
I think I need more time.
Okay. How much more time?
Um,
How much? Why don't we do this? Because I don't know. I'm going to send you the information, right? You already have the videos that you can rewatch, which goes over it again. I sent you the cheat sheet, which is the little job aids that shows you all the f-stops and the basic stuff, and you just find your way in the middle of that. And this earlier today, when you looked at what Mary Lou brought to the table, she put it in a PowerPoint. I want you to, do you know how to make a PowerPoint?
yes.
Then I want you to do a PowerPoint of all your work. I want you to show one photo, two photos on a page max. I don't really want a whole bunch of photos on one page, two on each page max. And then of course you got to share what that is. If it's a f-stop, you know,
Hmm.
5.6, if it's a shutter speed 1/200, if it's ISO 2000, whatever that is, I want that information to be clear on the photo so I can know where you are. Let's go with that first and get as much done for Tuesday night as you can. And then at Tuesday night, you and I will make a decision on what you might do. I think you might have to be enrolled into a future class and you take another class. The one that I'm going to probably do at CSM, which would be live, if you can come to the live class. And if you can't come to the live class, then you're going to be enrolled and re-enrolled into the next class if you got the dates to take it before school is back in session.
Okay.
I think it's in August, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I don't know if because my parents already paid for my classes,
Okay.
so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to
Able to take the extra
take
class?
the extra class. Yes.
Hmm. Why don't you talk to your parents and let them know that I'm offering? It's not like you're gonna have to pay again. You're just gonna
Mhm.
have to, I want to make sure you learn how to use your camera.
Okay.
And I'm not certain yet that you got all the lessons down. And so let's see what lessons you do have by preparing as much as you can, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the like exposure and the composition, do I need to have a different photo? Are you saying to have a different photo that shows each of the requirements?
You should have a photo for every single lesson, like different photos for the lesson. If you had to do, like, one of the lessons is f-stop.
Mhm.
I asked you guys to go down to the bottom of your range of your f-stop, the middle of your range in your f-stop, and the top of your range. That's a minimum of 3 shots. Probably can do 2, maybe 6. So that's 6 photos for that one lesson. Then I gave you a lesson, an assignment to shoot water. And the goal for that was to show you like shutter speed, because water is moving, and how you can stop and freeze the water, show the water flowing, and then also show the water turn into mist as if it's not hardly moving at all.
Okay.
That's 3 photos by itself. If you just only took 1, which you're not going to take 1 because you're going to try to get the best shot. So you're going to probably take 2 or 3 shots, and 2 would probably be the max, the minimum that you'll have to share. I also gave you an assignment to use the range of your ISO from the lowest up to the highest, low, middle, high. That's 3 photos minimum. So each one of these lessons that you were in, there was a minimum of 3 to 6 shots that you should be taking.
Okay.
And if you think about what people were sharing, that would give you an idea too.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
So, does that answer your question? How many photos you need to have?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So every lesson you need to show, if it's only 1 photo to show that you learned it, cool. But I need to see the before and after. So it's really what you did before and then one you did after. In this case, you'll be showing just your after because you didn't have a before shot.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Got it?
Yes, thank you.
All right. If your parents need to talk to me, tell them to call me. You got my number.
Oh, yes, I do. I'll
Okay.
talk to them after.
Yeah. And see what they say.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.